In early 1945, Tokyo still believed it would endure. The war was turning against Japan. The Navy had been shattered. American forces were moving steadily across the Pacific. Yet Tokyo, the imperial capital, seemed distant from total destruction. Air raids had occurred. Factories had been hit. But the city still stood. Most homes were made of wood. Paper walls. Narrow streets. A dense sea of tightly packed neighborhoods. Few imagined that this vulnerability would soon become their nightmare. On the night of March 9, 1945, the sky above Tokyo began to hum. And within hours, it would burn. The United States had struggled to inflict decisive damage through high-altitude bombing. Precision raids were ineffective. Weather patterns scattered bombs. Jet streams pushed aircraft off target. Then came a strategic shift. General Curtis LeMay took command of the bombing campaign. His conclusion was brutal but simple. If precision failed to destroy the city itself, LeMay ordered bombers to fly low, at night, carrying incendiary bombs designed not to explode but to ignite. The aircraft chosen for this mission was the B-29 Superfortress. Fast, long-range, devastating. This would not be a typical raid. It would be something far worse. On the evening of March 9, 1945, 330 B-29 bombers took off from the Mariana Islands. They flew unusually low, around 5,000 feet. Many defensive guns were removed to carry more bombs. This was risky, but Japanese night defenses were weak. Shortly after midnight, the first Pathfinder aircraft marked the target area. Moments later, waves of incendiary clusters began falling. Thousands of small bomblets scattered across rooftops. Each one ignited on impact. Within minutes, entire blocks were ablaze. At first, residents believed it was another raid. Then the wind began to rise. The fires merged. Heat intensified rapidly, reaching temperatures of 800 to 1,000 degrees Celsius. The inferno created its own weather system. Oxygen was sucked inward at hurricane force. People trying to escape were pulled back by wind. Others suffocated in shelters as oxygen disappeared. Streets turned into tunnels of flame. Rivers filled with desperate civilians trying to cool their burning skin. By dawn, over 16 square miles of Tokyo had been destroyed. Estimates suggest between 80,000 and 100,000 people died in a single night. It remains one of the deadliest air raids in human history. Japanese leadership was stunned. They had prepared for invasion. They had prepared for naval battle. But they had not prepared for the annihilation of their capital from the air. Air defenses proved inadequate. Night fighters struggled to intercept low-flying bombers. The scale of destruction shocked even hardened military officials. For the first time, many realized no city was safe, and America had found a method that could erase urban centers with terrifying efficiency. Tokyo was not the last. After Operation Meeting House, dozens of Japanese cities were targeted with similar tactics. Nagoya, Osaka, Kobe. Urban industrial networks were crippled. Millions were displaced. By summer 1945, much of urban Japan had been reduced to ashes. And yet even worse destruction was coming 5 months later. The world would witness atomic devastation. But long before Hiroshima, Tokyo had already experienced destruction on a comparable scale. The firebombing of March 910, 1945 remains a stark reminder of how modern warfare transformed cities into battlefields. It forced Japan to confront a new reality. The sky itself had become a weapon, and once unleashed, it changed history forever.